So just in case I haven't introduced you guys, this is my side garden. This is the one I have on the side of the house.
All my tomatoes.
Replanting that for the new plantings. I'm going to move these as well as water them again. They do not like the sun. So I'm going to be moving these items to the back. Getting a little bit more familiar with that. I was so glad and so thankful that today was so beautiful. I can get a lot of things done. It wasn't too hot, and the mosquitoes weren't that bad. And even though those crates look heavy, you guys, they weren't that bad. Maybe about 4, maybe 5 pounds each. As I'm arranging these, I just want them to look beautiful. I'm just trying to imagine what it'll look like full in the fall with all the leaves and everything amidst. So, assemble this, and as you can see, it does need to be straightened out a little bit more, but these are just simple milk crates that I got. Okay, so these are my milk crates, and what I did was either keep the bag or lined it with the weed barrier fabric, the black weed barrier fabric, or as you can see here, any plastic bag that will hold it in. And I stuffed it with dirt, compost, and all other things to fill in the bag, then put the dirt on top. So what I've done is just taken them and assembled them in a way that I like. That looks pretty to me. Don't worry, we're gonna water things in and make a few more adjustments for the fall garden. But this is just the beginning. It's always so fun in the planting stages because if you really look at your own garden, you realize if you move things around and rearrange a few things, it could be so much more beautiful. And we all actually want it to be very abundant and beautiful. And just like everything else in life, it may not be exactly what you pictured when you were trying to picture it. But you can always rearrange the way things look. Move things around a little bit more. Again, since I started so many seeds, you guys remember that I just kind of dropped them in, and of course the mixed greens and warm mix and whatever, the micro mix really came up really well. I have other things that are popping up. The dinosaur kale, the collards, and the cabbage I really want to get in. I was just about to put those in that spot, and remember seeing all those roly-polies and was like, no, that's not a good idea. So I decided not to put those in. But we do still have the cauliflower. Now this is where we're at. Here we have 5 plants here. And because I don't know what each plant is, because they're out of a mixed seed pack, I just put them in there. So some of them may have to come out of there because due to they may be mustard greens or a bigger green set. So they may have to come out. And these ones, like that is 1. So that one will be safe and that one is safe. But the ones with 4 and 5, I have to really consider that they may have to be moved again. So what I did do, since I did pull those, is make sure that I put those in. So I put that one in, one of them right there, because it was a purple one. I was not sure what it was, but I know it came out of the mix pack. So I put it there, and then I can take note of what that is. And I know that that's a pak choi right there. So I'm going to see which ones look like that, and I know that that is tatsoi, pak choi, what other choice. Of course, those were we put those in. The ones that you cannot see, the seedlings that are under the cups, those are mostly the mix that we put in. These are greens and cauliflower, chives. This is a green. That's some basil. An old pepper I put in with the kale. And these are 2 greens. I think they are the, I don't know which kind they are. Right off the back, I have to go back over everything. But these are some greens. These are cauliflower and a pepper. So you see, when we put in the kale, and then there are other sporadic areas. So like over there where the peppers are, I think I'm going to go ahead and plant in maybe like a cauliflower. One of those cauliflowers over there and there. And being that, look at the bunny. They just be all over. They be all over while I'm out here and stuff. So I'm going to put a cauliflower there. And because I'm going to be pulling out that tomato. So I'm going to put that within that hoop. And I also put a kale over there on the other side of that pepper, because I know that that pepper will be coming out as well. I have one of the seedlings here. I'm not sure what that is. If you guys can see it, it is a seedling. And that is there. These are the greens. I know everything looks a little dry now, but by the end of this, you're going to see that we're going to get all of this watered in and potentially covered. It's a lot that I said, I wanted to do today in a way, but we'll get into that. So again, what I'm doing now is just trying to figure out where I'm going to put some of these seedlings. So I've just about prepped the other area for these cauliflower to go in. So we're going to go ahead and drop these beautiful, beautiful bad boys right on in. So now we're just going to walk to the other side of them. But these look like some really strong plants. I'm excited to get them in, because I think they're going to be gorgeous. So this is our area. This is where we're going to go ahead and plant these in. That's our mix that we put in our fertilizer. So I went ahead and dug each hole, and I put the fresh dirt in. I wanted to show you guys a step of me putting the fertilizer in. Not a lot of fertilizer, because this already has fertilizer in it, and proteins, neutrons, and all the neurons. So I'm going to go ahead and get these planted in. Alright guys, excuse your view, but I'm trying to get you all in the view. So these have been very much so watered, saturated. going to get as much of the dirt in there as we can. Alright, we just can't look at the same leaves. So it's here easier to get it. Now I gotta be careful because old leaves. Now you see this one has 3. So we're gonna bust these open. This one with the most dirt, put it there. These 2, gently pull them apart, throw them in the best spaces. Just along with the other lap. Grab as much of the dirt as you can or split them. Why split them? Because I can't ever grab it all the way. The whole plant right in the spot. All of the fertilizer. And then we're going to go ahead and cover them all up really well. Get that bad boy out. So this is what they're looking like in the ground. Then we're going to just push all of the dirt, everything right around it. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand here. We're gonna pack it so we can secure it without getting that. So do that same thing to all of them. Then we're gonna go back and water all these in, which is gonna then help it all settle. But we're gonna repeat that process for each one. Just going in and settling each plant as I do it with one hand. I love to stand them up. You know, of course, ideally that is what we want to do, is have them standing up. Being careful not to be too heavy-handed, because I am. Make sure we have all the roots that are established out and up. And the same thing all over. We have to add dirt here because we did not, but we're gonna go grab that. But this is how they're looking so far. So now that we got everything watered and soaked really well, we're gonna see if we can't move on to the next thing. Don't worry about these. Prayerfully, they will stand up after they're able to absorb some of this water that I just gave it. Freshly watered, very well watered. These things will come back. Everything is in there pretty nicely, still secure. Watered down pretty well. Even this. So we're going to see about getting these things covered and growing. So in order to keep everything moist and nice and wet like this, and the dirt and soil stays good and wet, we need to cover this, because if not, then the sun will do its sunning and take all of the wetness away. So while it is still wet, what we are going to do is take some grass clippings. Now this is pulled from a watermelon patch. This is all the weed. And what I'm going to do is just simply place this on the dirt here. nicely, neatly, and have it so that it covers the dirt. Not the plants, but the dirt. Just the dirt. So I'm going to go ahead, and I know this looks a little wild, a little crazy, but it's not. It's definitely a very cost-effective, use what I have, but also really good for the garden because it then returns everything back to the soil, which is going to be building the soil for next year and years to come. So we're just going to get this all down here. I'm going to get it all spaced out correctly so it does not look like what the world. And I'll be back to show you guys. Good deal. So I wanted to come back and show you what I've done real quickly. So this is the grass and these are the plants. And I've just bird's nest them or whatever around them. And I'm going to go through and do the whole bed like that. So I'll give you guys a little footage of that in a moment. It's going to be fun. just want to thank you guys for spending this time with me today. I really appreciate it. You'll never really know how much I appreciate you guys coming and looking at my garden with me. Unfortunately, this time I don't get to show you guys the very ending of it, but I hope you guys decide to come back and check it out. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe. It really helps.